When Elden Ring came out, I did a video called Does Armor Matter? Now I wanted to test what 0 versus 133 Poise would look like against some of the DLC bosses, you intrigued bastards. Does Poise matter in PvE? 133 Poise is the number we get with Bullgoat Armor and Bullgoat Talisman. There are other ways to increase it, like Tia's 15-second Blessing and Wondrous Flask 10-second Poise buff, but none of them would provide a long-lasting duration to make them worthwhile using, so realistically 133 Poise or something around that number would be used for 90% of the time during boss fights. Maybe there are other realistic and useful ways to increase it, but I'm not aware of it at this point. Test consists of first getting hit while not doing anything, to see if Poise matters at all while just standing and not attacking. Then we do the same test 0 versus 133 while attacking with Giant Crusher weapon that grants nice amount of hyper armor due to slow attack. Last test is for 0 Poise with Endure Ash of War versus 133 Poise with Endure Ash of War. On the left side is the Impenetrable Tongs, or probably Penetrable Tongs in this case, and on the right side is the Bullgoat with the Bullgoat Talisman. First boss is Divine Beast, and the first test, as explained earlier, is us not doing anything, just standing and taking hits. There isn't much difference between 0 and 133 Poise in this case. It seems like Divine Beast does a lot of Poise damage with its hits, so there isn't any difference that I've noticed from most of the attacks. Seems like we get staggered and knocked down the same exact way, without any improvements with 133 Poise. When it comes to attacking, meaning when hyper armor comes into play with the Giant Crusher weapon, it's a whole different story. With 133 Poise we can tank the hits and attack at the same time as the beast attacks too, and still go through a lot of the beast's attacks to finish our attack. However, with 0 Poise we cannot do that. I cannot finish an attack here. I always get interrupted by whatever hits me if it's in the middle of the attack. Here's an interesting thing that I've noticed with a lot of the bosses. Upon entering the second phase and a lot of elemental and magic stuff happens, that's when their Poise damage gets increased for some reason. I guess it's the added elemental type of damage to the normal physical type damage that staggers player a lot more. Problem is also there's a lot of AoE, and the AoE spells that the bosses cast almost always stagger when hit. Sometimes knock down, sometimes just stagger. Now to test Endure versus the boss with 0 and 133 Poise. There is no difference. Endure goes through everything. I haven't noticed a single possible attack that the enemy does in this case that would stagger us or knock us down while Endure is active. keep attention to the buff beneath the stamina bar in order to know when Endure is active. Sometimes it goes off quickly and I get staggered, and then it's not a realistic thing that has happened. It's just that Endure has worn off. It has a very short duration, but you can see that even with 0 poise it is extremely effective. Same as with 133 poise. Against Putrescent Knight, while just standing and taking hits, there is almost no difference between 0 poise and 133 poise. We get staggered the same way and knocked down the same way. Again, story is completely different while attacking. When hyper armor is in play, then we can tank through a lot of the boss's hits with 133 poise to continue attacking. With 0 poise we get staggered all the time and cannot finish the attack. Then we match up 0 versus 133 poise with Endurance Ash of War, and there is, again, no difference between the two. You can tank with 0 poise and Endure same as you can with 133 poise and Endure. Messmer is the first one that I've seen a little bit of a difference. In some of his 3-hit combos I've noticed that the Bull Goat version can tank through some of the hits without acting like it's being touched at all, unlike the 0 poise that cannot do that in any instance. So there is a little bit of a difference against Messmer. Again, there's a big difference when we are attacking. Against Messmer you can go through a lot of his attacks while attacking yourself if you wear Bull Goat Talisman and the Bull Goat Armor. There's an interesting thing that occurred while I was testing. I made a mistake and did not equip the Bull Goat Talisman. So my poise was, I think, 100, something like that, without the Bull Goat Talisman, and I was getting staggered while attacking all the time. So just the talisman made a lot of difference in this case. With Endure there is no difference. Against Christian Bayle the Dragon, the Poise is not working. Either when we are attacking or doing whatever, he is staggering us and knocking us down. Even Hyper Armor doesn't help against him. It makes sense though, because he's such a giant bloody bastard that it would be silly if we could just tank through his hits. Then again, we have Endure that does exactly that, so go figure. Then we have Midra, the Poise pussy. Why the Poise pussy? Well, because he does barely any Poise damage. There's a major difference even while not attacking when it comes to comparing 0 and 133 Poise. 133 Poise is way more effective against Midra, even without the Hyper Armor. While attacking with Hyper Armor it's even more effective, but with 0 Poise we get continuously interrupted while attacking. Testing Endure against Midra would be quite pointless, because we could tank through most of the bosses, if not every single boss's attack, even with 0 or with 133 Poise, if Endure was active. Then we get to the most majorless of all bastards, and that is Radahn. 0 versus 133 Poise, there is a little bit of difference while not attacking, while just taking hits. In some of the combos that Radahn does, we get to lowest possible stagger level, while with 0 Poise it seems that we get staggered a little bit more. While not attacking and just taking hits, it seems that 133 Poise does make a little bit of a difference, same like against Messmer. Again, there is major difference between 0 and 133 while attacking. We can tank through a lot of the hits from Radahn to continue doing our own attack, while we cannot do that even with one attack because everything interrupts us with 0 Poise. Endure is again a thing to go for if you want to Poise through almost every single attack. It's simply ridiculous even with 0 poise. There is again no difference between 0 and 133 while endurance is active. Conclusion is that poise mostly don't matter when it comes to getting hit while not attacking yourself. However, poise matters a lot when it is combined with hyper armor from weapons during the attack. Third conclusion is that poise doesn't matter with endure. Anyway, that's all. If this video does well views wise, I might do another poise test that is half of maximum poise, around 60 to 70 versus 133 to see what kind of a difference we can get. I've been also doing some reactions on Patreon and Subscribestar lately if someone is interested in supporting the channel further. Links are in the description. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video and see you soon.